Ladies and gentlemen, this interview is with Kane Rickus. Kane is fighting out of Luestro Combat Academy. It's the home of Cody Haddon, Quillan Sourkild, and head coach by Romel Luestro. I've known him for a very long time, Kane Rickus. He's been on the scene, especially in Western Australia, where I'm based. He's, I think, 2-6 in the amateurs, but it does not justify his skill. He's had a real up and down start to his career, but he's making his professional debut against Alistair Valters out of Absolute MMA at Hex Fight Series 27 on August 18th, Melbourne Pavilion. It's going to be really interesting. I'm unsure of what type of Kane Rickus we're going to get, but we chat to him about that very journey, why he decided to turn pro at going just 2-6 in the amateurs, and he's also got a lovely partner, Jasmine Nakora, who is an MMA fighter herself. So it's very, very interesting on what those guys get up to and how they deal with each other and each other's careers. So it's a very, very interesting chat, especially if you've been ever interested on what it's like to see how mixed martial arts couples get along. But yes, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kane Rickus. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the show, he takes on Alistair Valters at Hex Fight Series 27, August 18th at Melbourne Pavilion. It is the professional debutant, Kane Rickus. Mate, welcome.
Hey, mate, how you doing?
Mate, pro debut, you're now a professional fighter. I believe we've talked once before and you said that was the goal, to have a professional fight. It's nearly upon us.
Yeah, mate, we're almost there. A couple of days away and I'm super excited.
Is it, obviously dream in the making type thing. Was this, was it after 8 fights? Was it after how many wins? Was it after how many years? When did you want to go pro?
It's always been the goal to go pro, you know what I mean? As the fights go in amateur, I didn't really care how many. I wanted at least 10 actually, but as moving forward, I just felt like it was time to go pro. So yeah, I didn't really want to do another amateur. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I believe in myself. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go now,
Well, that's why it's quite interesting. I'm well versed in your career. I believe I've either called, watched. I've probably commentated most of your fights.
Yeah, mate.
2-6, but it doesn't justify your skill. Has the result ever impacted you?
Yeah, it has, but not really. I just seen the amateur career as just something how to learn MMA, you know what I mean? It was almost just like a way into MMA and get skilled up and get some fights under my belt. And then, yeah, when I thought the time was right to go pro, let's go.
Because I always use the Jack Hayes example, who fights out of M16 in South Australia. I believe he went. My numbers are probably wrong, but I believe he was like 0-5 as an amateur, and then started his pro career at like 2-1, 2-0. So it's like you can have kind of like a quote unquote horrendous amateur record, and then once you get all those mistakes out the way, you head on off this pro route. Is that does it feel like you've kind of made all your mistakes?
Yeah, 100%. I believe I've made every mistake in amateur. and now in pro, I'm going to correct it. Fully correct it.
Well, your head coach, Romel Luestro, he knows good fighters. You got Cody Haddon, Quillan Sourkild. You've even got the Toby Smith that's coming down that trains with you guys now. Matt King, that's turned into a great MMA fighter. Did he go, Kane now? Or did you go, no, Romel, I want to go pro now?
Yeah, so it was on my mind for a couple of months. And that was all that was on my mind, was just turning pro, you know what I mean? So I was like, if this is all that's on my mind, like, I'll go see Romel and just tell him, look, this is what's on my mind. I can't get it off. I want to go pro now. And then he was pretty much, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? If that's what you think you want to do and that's what you believe in, we'll do it. You're ready. Let's go. If you're thinking that way, let's go. You know what I mean? So
there was no like, I don't know, I think we should work on this. He was just like, yep, gung-ho.
Yeah, pretty much. I went and met him at his house in the morning, and then, that was pretty much it. And he just goes, yep, all right, let's do it. It's now your time.
Talk it through. There'll be hundreds of amateur fighters out there that, might be 6-2 and are still unsure about going pro. Like, when was the moment, though, you were like, no, I'm heading professional?
Probably just the long nights at work, to be honest, eh? Like, you get pretty lonely in your head when you're at work. And it was like I said, it was a couple of months. It was literally just on my mind all the time. And it wasn't like, should I not? It's just like, I want to be a professional fighter now, I feel like I've done my time in the amateurs. And then I was like, yeah, nah, fuck it. Let's just go. Like every thought I had was just like, let's be a pro. Let's go for it.
What's changed in the preparation? Are you a little bit, I mean, ironically, are you more professional about it, or has anything changed?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, 100%. All my trainings are in the mornings now with all the fighters and everything now. So, all the hard work that they put in, I'm putting in as well. And it's just like, well, fuck, you know what I mean? If I'm putting in all this work, it's like, well, I must be getting, on the professional level, you know what I mean? So yeah, also the nutrition as well. I've changed it up a lot. I don't go out and party anymore, any of that sort of shit. I'm done with all that sort of carry on. But yeah, probably just those things, you know what I mean? Just training better, eating better, and outside of fighting, I'm just pretty much relaxing, just waiting for the next day to train, really. So yeah.
Well, here's a question where I probably should have researched, but are you still with Jasmine?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was a lot. That was so risky to ask you, but like she's a fighter as well. I mean, how has that helped your career?
It's good because she understands now. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in fight camp, whoever's in your house is pretty much going to be on fight camp. You know what I mean? And at the start, she didn't really get like, me, like, all those little things that fighters go through and stuff like that. But now she fully understands, like, you know what I mean? So that's very helped a lot. And, we train together a lot as well. So, yeah, it's good. We're pushing each other,
Do you guys have a spar?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Does she whoop you?
No.
Oh, that is great. Has it been interesting being the partner of a fighter as well and knowing what they go through?
Yeah, man. Yep, 100%. Yeah, of course, I see her journeys. I see her ups and her downs and stuff like that. And it gets, she's had a couple of losses now, and yeah, of course it hurts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? When they don't get what they want and stuff. But it's good. We rebound off each other and and reflect together on things. So it's kind of good having somebody else in the house that knows what's going on. You know what I mean? So.
Have you ever had a time where your career was going and kind of a bit better than hers, or vice versa, and you kind of almost have to bring down the happiness?
It's probably only been, to be honest, you probably should be asking her this question. Nah, it was probably the first time she made her debut as a fighter. And that night I got the win. We were on the same card, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, but she took it for what it was, you know what I mean? She just like, it's, my first fight, you know what I mean? I sort of, whether I win or lose, I don't really like celebrate. I'm just sort of just like, yeah, cool, thanks, you know what I mean? Like happy to get the win, and then just move on. So.
Do you think it'll change now that you're a pro, where the wins and losses mean that little bit more?
Of course, 100%. This pros, I suppose any fight, any sport's all about winning, really. Yeah, of course, man. It's nothing but win in my mind. You know what I mean? Now that's just that. It's just got to win anyway, anyhow, any possible way. Just fucking win, man. You know what I mean? That's how it is.
And what's the biggest lesson you've learned over your, I think, nearly 5 years of fighting now?
Respect the game by putting in hard work and having a good camp. You know what I mean? And yeah, just pretty much that. Just work your ass off to get a win.
Have you kind of taken your foot off the gas previously?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I've had my moments, where, I probably shouldn't have taken that fight. Probably should have been in the gym a bit more. Probably should have did things on the outside a bit better and stuff like that. But that was the best thing about amateur was, making all those mistakes, like I said earlier. And now putting it all into a nutshell, going into pro of what to do and not what to do. So.
And how's your head coach, Romel Luestro, been that whole time? Is he does he push you like, come on, Kane, you can do this? Or if he's like, you want to come training? If I come training.
Yeah. He'll pretty much both ways. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? if you've got a fight coming up, for sure, you'd be like, where are you? You know what I mean? Where are you? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Even if you haven't got a fight, you still be like, oh, you come. Where are you? You know, you should be in the gym, continues to train. You know what I mean? Which is good, because you got all that. Like I said, you got the likes of Quill and Cody and all the other boys in there who are 100% dedicated. So you see the efforts that they put in, and you have to match it or do better. You know what I mean?
What is the thing? I mean, a lot of people would be wondering this, but what are those things that make Quill and Cody so special? Like, what are they doing different?
I think they're over 100% dedicated, man. They're just, they just workhorses. You know what I mean? They just put the work in. You know what I mean? Like, unbelievable amount of work, it's awesome to see, man. When you're in there, it's awesome to see. It's like, fuck, I want that, you know what I mean? I want to be like that, you know what I mean? But I reckon it's just the work ethic, man. Yeah. And
how do you go against them in sparring?
Yeah. If I'm being honest, they're super, super tough rounds, but they're the necessary rounds. They're the necessary rounds that you need, you know what I mean? And pretty much this entire camp, it's been with Cody, you know what I mean? So it's been a lot of pain in this camp, you know what I mean? So, which is good though, you know what I mean? It's very good. It's very good, you know.
And I asked Cody about this as well. I mean, you've been there from the very beginning. How do you put into words Quill and Southfield getting noticed by the UFC now?
Oh, it's his time, man. It's his time. I'm happy for him, man. It's awesome. This is all he does, you know what I mean? Day in, day out, 2 trainings a day, fucking probably 7 days a week. You know, very rarely rests, the boy does, you know, and he works hard, man. Good for him, man. I'm happy for him.
And what's your goal in the sport? Is it see how far you can go? Is it kind of 1 or 2 fights and you're done, or what's the plan?
I mean, the ultimate goal I want 10 pro fights. I want 10 pro fights. It's my ultimate
What's
goal.
With 10?
So
10 and 10.
I think 10's an achievable number, actually, you know what I mean? A very achievable number right now. But yeah, a fight at a time and get the win, you know what I mean? I just want to win, you know what I mean? That's what it's about for me now. It's just continue to push and continue to win, you know what I mean?
Is martial arts something that you're going to do for the rest of your life?
100%. Once I finished up with MMA, the fighting side of MMA, I'll probably just head into, you know, a lot of jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I'll probably always be on the mat doing sparring and stuff like that. I won't be able to get away from it. But just it's an awesome realm to be in, man.
And do you know much about your opponent, Alistair Valdez?
Yeah, he's had a few. I think he's had about 10 fights, has he?
Yeah, he's had about the same amount with you.
Yeah, and he's had some great wins. You know, I'm not gonna. You know, he's had some great wins, and he's a very well-rounded opponent. I've definitely checked out a couple of fights of him. Tall guy, but yeah, I respect him, man. That's why I put the work in. You know what I mean? I've put the work in, so I think it's going to be a cracker of a fight.
Well, how do you think it's going to go?
I've heard stories of how he thinks it's going to go, but I've just put the focus on me. You know what I mean? So my missus and everyone's been showing me videos of, they've been trying to show me videos of how he's like twisters and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool as. But I sort of just take it on the chin and move on. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, my focus is on me. You know what I mean? So, but he's a well-rounded guy. You know what I mean? So.
What's your missus stirring you up for?
Yeah, she loves doing that stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's another question. Do you guys ever get in a fight and you're like, that's why your triangle defense sucks? Or like,
yeah, there's a few moments like that going on. And I'm just like, yeah, right, you're right.
Oh, mate, that is great.
Yeah, no, like I think he's an all-round good MMA fighter.
That's good. And absolute MMA, obviously, an amazing gym. And Luestro Combat Academy, and I wanted to ask you this as well. You have been there since the very beginning. Are you noticing the sort of recognition that the gym is getting?
Yeah, man, 100%. Yeah, it's moving forward, and especially with, I mean, when I first started, there's probably only about 5 or 6 fighters at the time. Now there's a whole army of us in there, man. There's a lot of people in there fighting, you know what I mean? Pretty much the entire gym competes, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's wrestling, whether it's MMA, you know what I mean? Pretty much the entire gym competes.
Who's the next guy to come out of that gym that's not Quillen or Cody? Is there like a young guy that's coming up?
100%. I reckon that'd be Ashley Rogers.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. He's another guy that's in there that's fully dedicated every day as well, twice a day. You know, he's yeah, man, he puts the work in, that kid as well. So,
well,
yeah.
Before I let you go, Ramel was always on my back to ask you this, but how's the weight cut going?
Very, very good. I woke up with just 2 kilos today, you know what I mean? And I'm still eating carbs, you know what I mean? So it's very good for me, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Nah, weight's tracking very good. Very good.
Awesome. All right. Well, before I let you go, mate, after it's all said and done, how does Kane Rickus want to be remembered in mixed martial arts?
Shows up. He shows up.
Love it, mate. Look, I'm really excited. Like I said, I think I called your very first fight, so I can't wait to see you there. See you in Melbourne. Put on a display, mate. You're 0-0. It's all up from here.
Yeah, man. I'm coming to grab that win.